term apocalypse translates into a veil lifted, disclosing something hidden from mankind. The key to decoding the prophecy lies here. In the book of Revelation, the last book of the New Testament. Revelation was written by a prophet named John of Patmos in about 100 AD. Of all the books in the Bible, it is the most mysterious and controversial.
The book of Revelation is meant to paint a picture of the total devastation of the earth in preparation for the day of judgment, God's master plan for the end of the world. And the book of Revelation describes this master plan as being written on a scroll that's sealed with 7 seals.
As each seal on the scroll is broken, there is a new disaster. A new sign that the end of the world is near. To those who believe in the book of Revelation, the warning signs that mark the beginning of the prophecy are clear.
Famines and earthquakes in various places.
The modern media are delivering a continual sequence of images of natural disasters around the world. Sometimes this can become quite overwhelming. Many of us have become hardened by perpetual scenes of starving children, homeless families, and crumbling buildings. Note that these events seem to take place with greater frequency than before and in new places. According to Jesus, in the last days, earthquakes will occur in place after place. Here's a list of major earthquakes this century.
The Earth's climate is changing, in some places faster than predicted. Something or someone is cranking up the heat. And many scientists say the main culprit is us.
There is no question. Extreme weather is plaguing the U.S. While there's disagreement among scientists about what's causing it, President Obama says he has no patience for those who deny human activity is affecting the climate.
Today, for the sake of our children and the health and safety of all Americans, I'm directing the Environmental Protection Agency to put an end to the limitless dumping of carbon pollution from our power plants and complete new pollution standards for both new and existing power plants. The old rules may say we can't protect our environment and promote economic growth at the same time, but in America, we've always used new technologies. We've used science, we've used research and development and discovery. It's not an either or, it's a both and. We've got to look after our children, we have to look after our future, and we have to grow the economy and create jobs. We can do all of that as long as we don't fear the future, instead we seize it.
Astonishingly, modern science seems to confirm these unfolding signs.
Scientists agree that the world will end. And scientists agree that many of the features of the end of the world may resemble phenomenon, catastrophes that are described in Revelation. What they disagree about is whether this is the will of God, as prophesied in Revelation, or whether it's just an accident of the natural world.
When I think of bad historical assumptions about correlation and causality, I think of polio 100 years ago, when it was this horrible mystery that it was, claiming a lot of lives, and it was really scary because it mostly struck children. And there was a strong line of research that suggested that ice cream caused polio, that ice cream consumption caused polio.
here comes Mr. Softy, the soft ice cream man. The creamiest soft ice cream you get from Mr. Softy.
The reason that correlation was thought to be causal was that polio spiked in the summertime for reasons that really weren't very well understood, but it did. And ice cream sales spiked during the summertime. So these researchers had seen that whenever there was a lot of ice cream being sold and consumed, there was a lot more polio. And so there was really literally the beginnings of this kind of ice cream persecution to try to stomp out polio. And it sounds ridiculous, but you see it all the time now, people trying to fight against or build up something that they're sure is connected to something else, in which it turns out just isn't.